Hi everyone, my name is Ishu and I'm here today to talk to you about the importance of a healthy lifestyle, or as I would like to call it, healthy living. Healthy living looks at the overarching view of what it means to live healthy. It includes four main components: eating, exercising, your mental health, and your rest and sleep that you get. Eating healthy along with physical exercise helps you maintain a healthy weight and reduce overall risk of chronic diseases. For example, obesity alone can raise your risk for heart disease, stroke, cancer, osteoporosis, diabetes, and even premature health. Obesity can cause your blood pressure, cholesterol to increase, and can even cause respiratory problems. Another example is diabetes. Specifically, it's type 2 diabetes. Type 2 diabetes is caused by our nutrition and our exercise. And once we have it, it's no longer reversible and can only be managed. And while it seems like there's not much of a correlation between the food we eat, our exercise, and our mental health, they're all intercorrelated with each other. Eating and exercising affects your body and the state of your body, and thus will affect you internally and externally. The way you feel about your body, whether you are overweight, underweight, healthy, or sick, will affect your mental health. Now I would like to go into some details of the four components that I talked about earlier. The first one, the one that we all think about when we think of living, is eating or diet. So the government has replaced the food pyramid with something called My Plate. It suggests that we eat about half a plate of fruits and vegetables, more vegetables than fruit, and a quarter plate of protein and a quarter plate of grains. For fruit, they recommend whole fruits. So maybe not as much juices or juicing all the fruits together. We want the fibers in that. For vegetables, leafy green, dark leafy green vegetables have the most nutrients. Grains are recommended that at least half be whole grains. Whole grains can include whole wheat, oat, rye, barley, brown rice, wild rice, or buckwheat, and more. And as for meat, we want to choose lean or low-fat cuts, poultry and fish, and maybe even add alternative protein sources into our diet, such as beans, eggs, nuts, tofu. And also we want to have some milk or dairy with our food, but we want fat-free or low-fat. Also, the food that we eat should be low in sodium. So not only do we want to not put as much salt into our food while we're cooking, but we want to stay away from processed foods that could potentially be very high in sodium and saturated fats. And yes, we should also stay away from saturated and trans fats. And also, in addition to avoiding fats, we want to avoid sugar. Specifically foods that have added sugar into them, such as pastries and sodas. Last but not least, we want to watch the total calories that we're ingesting. So for women, that's around 1,600 to 2,400 calories, and for men, that's around 2,000 to 3,000 calories. The second component that we want to look at is exercise. So exercise is extremely important. It can help you feel better mentally and physically. It helps you maintain a healthy weight and thus your BMI. Exercising helps make your heart stronger. So it lowers your blood pressure and your heart rate and your cholesterol, and thus your overall risk of heart disease. Why is heart healthy? Heart is extremely healthy to our body. It is an extremely important organ that helps deliver blood and nutrients to the rest of our body through our blood vessels. So if our heart is healthy, it is very efficient in the way it delivers and the amount of blood, and so it gives us more energy and stamina because your cells are getting more oxygen, nutrients. So having a strong heart helps to fight off diseases by boosting your immune system. And in addition, it helps you feel better because when we exercise, we release a chemical called endorphins and serotonin. Those are both neurotransmitters in our body that minimizes discomfort and pain and brings out feelings of euphoria, happiness, and general well-being. Physical activity and body adaptation also will improve other aspects of our health. So we recommend around 150 minutes a week of moderately intense activity or 75 minutes of vigorous activity. Third, we want to talk about mental health. Mental health is something that there's more awareness of in the past decade. So the World Health Organization defines mental health as a state of well-being in which the individual realizes his or her own potential, can cope with normal stresses in life, and can work productively and fruitfully, and is able to make a contribution to his or her own community. I like to look at it a little easier, so I define mental health as my psychological, emotional well-being. It affects how we think, act, and feel, and how I will handle stress and deal with people and help me make choices in life. So emotionally healthy people are able to cope with their life's challenges and be able to bounce back from these setbacks. So we can improve our mental health by being aware of behaviors that are harmful. We want to set realistic goals for ourselves. One very effective way of improving our mental health is actually exercise. It has a profound and positive effect on depression, anxiety, and helps relieve stress, which will help boost your overall mood. Stress not only affects your mood, but also affects your physical body. That includes heart, lungs, digestive system, and immune system. So managing your stress is extremely important. Excessive anxiety and stress will contribute to physical problems in your body, such as heart disease, ulcers, and even a decrease in your immune system. And poor psychological ways of dealing with our stressors and problems will lead to poor choices such as smoking and alcohol abuse, poor eating habits, and maybe even reckless behaviors. And in those cases will lead directly to physical problems that require medical attention. So we want to look at our life and alter patterns that add to our stress. Last but not least, sleep. Sleep is extremely important to our health. Why? During sleep is actually when your body is healing and repairing itself. So ongoing sleep deficiencies is linked to an increase of heart disease, kidney disease, high blood pressure, diabetes, and stroke. Sleep not only affects the lower part of your body, but it affects your brain function as well. It helps your brain by improving communication between your nerve cells. It helps support learning and even your memory. So we want to plan for adequate rest and sleep. Around 7 to 8 hours is a good target to have. So healthy living. Healthy living is something that we want to incorporate into our lifestyle. So no fat or high stress diets that can cause probably more harm to our body and leave it at a worse place than when we started out. the difference between dieting and healthy living is that dieting is only focused on one aspect or for health, while our overall our health is multifaceted. So if we eat smart, exercise, manage stress, don't smoke, we will just feel better overall, and we'll set ourselves up for a better and healthier future. So while genetics may play a role in your health, all the possible risk factors that contribute to poor health are all modifiable. So, healthy living, extremely important.